Hello, and welcome to the new course entitled Field Operations and Administrative Tools in Construction Management. And today's first lesson is all about estimating project costs with a focus on common estimating traits. So we'll cover all the traits and characteristics in this lesson, and then we'll wrap up with a real-world story all about construction estimating. Is it an art or a science? So we're going to find out. So stay tuned and let's get started. Welcome to the first course on estimating. And in this course, we're going to cover four main items: common estimating traits, focusing on the definition of estimate, estimate uses, and one other item, estimating time versus accuracy for a $10 million project. And then finally, what determines an estimate's accuracy. So let's get started. So let's start with some common estimating traits and focus on the definition of an estimate. Often accurate, but usually only approximate statement of the cost of a job, anticipated cost of materials, labor, equipment, or any combination for a proposed construction project, an approximation of probable construction costs, and another definition, anticipated approximate cost of construction. So the key word for an estimate is it's an approximation. So let's keep on going forward. Let's talk about some estimate uses. The estimate supports the owner's decision-making as to project affordability. Does the owner have enough funding to do the project? It also assists the designer, who's the architect, and a proper and associated engineers in making material and design decisions to maximize owner value. And finally, it's a critical tool to define the general contractor and subcontractor bid price. So that's important to make sure you understand the estimate uses.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this free lesson from the University of Maryland's Project Management Center for Excellence. If you want to check out more lessons just like this one, click the link in the description below where you'll be able to go to our website on executive project management. There, you can find edX courses, professional short courses where you can learn from an instructor like me, as well as request custom team training for you and your organization. All right, let's get back to the lesson and I'll see you at the end.
Now, let's talk about some estimating time versus accuracy for a $10 million project. We're revisiting some of this information that we had discussed in the past. The first type of estimate is a rough order of magnitude, sometimes called a ROM. It's got an accuracy of about 20% plus or minus and can take literally minutes to perform. The next type of estimate is a square foot estimate. This has an accuracy of about plus or minus 15% and can take hours, maybe a day, maybe 2 days. And it allows you to start breaking up the estimate into various divisions. The next type of estimate is an assemblies estimate, or sometimes referred to as systems estimate, and that has an accuracy of about 10%. And it takes literally days to do something like that with an assemblies estimate. And finally, we have the unit price estimate, which is roughly plus or minus about 5% and can take weeks, a month, or sometimes longer, depending on the size of the project. But this is the unit price estimate that is determined after doing a thorough quantity survey and a takeoff of every item on the job: labor, materials, and equipment. Now let's discuss what determines an estimate's accuracy. Good scope. You want to make sure the scope is clear, very understandable, and quantifiable. And the program as well needs to be well defined. You need adequate preparation time. You don't want to rush the job. You don't want to rush the estimate. You need adequate staffing of personnel to make sure that the estimate is done timely with quality. You want good, reliable cost information, and that comes from your in-house estimating team capability, as well as select contractors who provide further information as subcontractors to the general contractor. The estimating skill and methodology employed is real important. You really need to figure out what the labor, material, and equipment costs are, and also how are you going to build the project. And finally, we're going to talk about estimating. Is it an art or a science? Why was there missing brick on a job? Perhaps it was the brick factor, a real world story. Let me tell you a real world story. And this was a brick job, a masonry job, and an estimate had to be made. And if the brick factor on this particular job is actually 4 face brick per square foot, as defined, of a building surface area, and the total building surface area is 250,000 square feet, then the estimated number of brick needed is 1,000,000 brick. However, if you miscalculate, and if you calculate the brick factor in error at 3.9 brick per square foot, then the estimated brick needed amount would be 975,000 brick. This is what was used as the estimate on a real project. Since 25,000 more brick was actually needed than estimated, the construction manager thought 25,000 brick were missing from the job site. But the error was in the calculation of the brick factor. That's why the brick masonry budget was showing a loss. So you need to be real careful how you do a brick factor and how you calculate the brick factor, because when you multiply it by the surface area of a building, it can really create a discrepancy. So that was a real story, a real world story of how the job thought 25,000 brick were missing, stolen, or just disappeared. But it actually turned out to be the brick factor error. Thank you.
Hey there, did you enjoy that lesson as much as I did? If you did, go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see another one, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Moreover, is there somebody in your life who really needs this lesson right now? If so, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next lesson, where you can learn even more from the University of Maryland Project Management Center for Excellence. Thanks so much.